How you doing? I thought I'd do another video, part two on albums I listened to from front to back. So here's another 10 for you. Let's kick it off with some Running Wild with Under Jolly Roger. This is a great album from 1987. Of course, the title track. It's an insane song. Also tracks like Raise Your Fist, Diamonds of the Black Chest. And of course it ends with the track Merciless Game. Yeah, I heard from this about this band in the pubs because back then there was no internet, no luxury of the internet, which or you just heard about it from word of mouth or reading about it in magazines. That's how we got to know bands back in the day. This is a great album. Another album from I believe the best year of thrash was 1986. And who hasn't got this album? Slayer's Raining Blood, 28 minutes of mayhem. That's what I call it. Starts off with their track Angel of Death. The tracks like Altar of Sacrifice, Jesus Saves, Reborn, and it ends with Raining Blood. This is a great album. Great album cover. You know, I had albums like Haunting the Chapel and that, but this one just topped it off. Another band from 1986. This is Metal Church's The Dark, featuring the late David Wayne on vocals. A great album. It kicks off with a classic song, Ton of Bricks. Tracks like Start the Fire, Watch the Children Pray, another classic song. Of course, the title track, The Dark. Yes, 1986 for me. You can't beat it. It's another great band, another great album from that year. Also, we've got Annihilator with Alice in Hell. This is my favourite Canadian band of all time. This came out in 1989 with the title track Alice in Hell. What a great track. Tracks like Welcome to Your Death, Wicked Majestic, Word Salad, and closes with that track Human Insecticide. What a great album this is. Another band is from the UK. It's a band called Martial Law. This is their track Razorhead. That was released in 2008. Another great band. Their title track Razorhead is a classic song. My favourite of all time is definitely the track Gods of Deception, and of course it closes with the track Necromancer. Great album from the UK. Another album was released in 1985. This is actually the first album I heard from this band. I actually read about it in the magazine. This is Fear Factory's Demanufacture. This is a great album. Of course, it starts off with the title track and goes into the Self-Bias Resistor. Also, Replica is another great song. And also, New Breed is another favourite of mine on this album. Fear Factory. They got some hit and misses as far as I'm concerned, but this song is a definite listen. This band I discovered from talking to a guy in a pub. I spend a lot of time in pubs. Anyway, we were watching live gigs. Sounds like I'm an alcoholic or something, but no. I've been networking. Guy said, have you heard of this band? Have a listen, come out in the car park and have a listen to this track. So I went out, and it was a band called Bathory, or Bathory, depending on how you say it. It's their self-titled album from 1984. The song I had to listen to was Hades. I thought, wow, this is insane. The vocals from Quorthon was absolutely brilliant. Of course, they got other tracks like Reaper, Necromancy, Sacrifice, Raise the Dead, and they finish off with their track War. So my first listen to Bathory, and definitely not my last. Another great album. Another album from the UK. I said this band sounds a lot like Motorhead. Three-piece band, bass player, singer. Yeah, this is Tank with Filth Hounds of Hades. This came out in 1982. Yeah, they sounded very similar to Motorhead because it was produced by their guitarist, the late Fast Eddie Clarke. It starts off with their classic song Shell Shock. Also tracks like Blood, Guts and Beer. And Heavy Artillery is another great song, and it finishes off with a track that some people love and some people hate. I fell in love with Stormtrooper. Another great album. And from 1980, this song is a big influence for me because I was starting to play bass guitar around that time, and I got to learn 2 tracks off this album. Of course, this is Judas Priest's British Steel. The 2 songs I learned was Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight. And also tracks like Grinder, Metal Gods, and it finished off with the classic Steeler. This is a great album, and again a big influence to me and my what do you ever call it, my bass guitar journey. Anyway, this is Judas Priest. Last but not least, another band from 1986, an album that was released in 1986. When I first heard this album, I thought, oh my god, this is fantastic. This is Creator's Pleasure to Kill. Also got Flag of Hate on there, but let's talk about Pleasure to Kill. This album is actually, in my opinion, one of the best albums ever written. Because their track Pleasure to Kill, my favourite track, Ride of Violence, featuring actually another drummer vocalist on that track actually. Tracks like The Pestilent, Command of the Blade, and it finishes off with Under the Guillotine. This is a great album, again 1986. I think best year of thrash by far. Anyway, that's another 10 of mine for part 2. If you enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe, and check out part 1 as well. I'm currently working on part 3 as well, so if you enjoy it, let me know. Until next time, see you later.